Hello good people, it's good to see you again. You're welcome to my channel. I remain my humble self, Emcee Bernardinho. Thank you very much for staying tuned. I really appreciate your comment, your likes, your feedback. It actually drives me, it keeps me going, because when it's interactive, then it keeps me going, because it makes me feel that you guys are actually part of this community. Thanks so much. Based on my last video that I did the last time on Canada Express entry, I received a lot of messages on my Facebook account, Instagram, Twitter, and even on this YouTube video. Many of you appreciated what I did, and so many of you came up with many questions. Some of these questions include, how can I increase my CRS score? And based on that, I've decided to do this video for you. I mean, you. So today, I'll be sharing with you what are the 8 tips to magically increase your CRS point in the Canada Express entry. The 8 tips. So I'll be sharing this salient point with you. I'll be dissecting it with you. I'll be giving you this tip because I know that you need to increase your CRS score in order for you to receive your ITA and be chosen and to land in Canada, just like me. Stay tuned for that. And don't forget our segment, Think About It. Stay tuned, guys.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Okay, thank you very much for staying tuned, guys. Thank you so much. Now let's go to the disclaimer aspect. Don't forget, guys, like I always tell you, I am not an immigration lawyer. I'm not a consultant. I'm not licensed. Everything I tell you on this channel is based on my own experience. It's based on my own research. Nobody's paying me to do this. Nobody's sponsoring this. It's just out of my own volition that I'm doing this. And it's based on my own experience. And don't forget, guys, any decision you want to make about your immigration, don't limit it to just this video. Do your own research. Make your own findings. I'm just here to guide you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for staying tuned once again. All right, welcome back, viewers. Like I said, I'll be sharing with you 8 tips for you to magically increase your CRS points in the Canada Express entry. And you want to wait for it, because the last 2 tips I'll be sharing with you, they are the icebreaker. So you want to stay tuned to listen to that. All right. According to this recently draw that was done by CIC, the cutoff was 454 and 3,350 people were invited for their ITA. I know the score is really huge because it's in the mid 400, and majority of the people are in the early 400 in the poll, or some are even in the 300. I know that can be very daunting, but today I will simplify that for you, and I'll be telling you how you can actually increase your points and to be easy for you to get to the mid 400, as the case may be. All right, number 1. Do you have a sibling in Canada? Do you have a sibling that is a permanent resident or a citizen that is 18 years and above? If you can prove your title to this sibling, it's easy for you. You get 15 points. It could be your brother, it could be your sister, and you guys can be related either by blood, by adoption, through marriage, whatever cases it is. So you want to tap into this free 15 points. So you have to call your mom, call your dad, call your guardian, ask them, because who knows, you might have a relation in Canada, and with that you can get additional 15 points, add it to your present score, and who knows, you might be invited in the next draw. Tip number 2 that I will share with you is improve your language test score. Because as far as Express entry is concerned, language alone are cool for 290 points. Don't take it for granted. Many of the people that do IELTS for their first time, they take it for granted because they feel it's just an English test. Oh, I will just go write it. You guys pay a lot to write this exam, so you might as well want to practice very well in order to succeed in this exam. You should be aiming for CLB 10. That is IELTS score band 8 minimum, in order for you to be in a very good position, especially because you know that anybody that is 30 years and above, you drop point drastically. So you might want to compensate for that with your IELTS score, because that is the only variable that you have in your hand that you can actually toil with. You can't toil with your age because it keeps growing. It's not your own doing. But with your IELTS score, you can improve your CRS score, and you want to make sure you practice very well for that. And I will always advise, listening is very key. Make sure you pay cognizance to listening. If you can max your score in listening and in speaking, then averagely in your writing and your reading, you can score like maybe 7.5. You should be good to go. So you want to practice very well for that. And on the other side, do you have a background in French? Maybe you've learned French before in the past. You have a little knowledge about French. Why not give it a shot? You might want to try the TEF. That is the Test d'Evaluation de Français. That's DEF. So if you feel you have a knowledge in French, you might just want to maybe go for a little brush up go to some classes, learn a little bit of French. In this video, I'll be linking a website where you can actually brush up your French, and also I'll be linking in this video some website where you can actually get some materials for you to practice for your IELTS, because like I said, language test alone accrued for 290 points, and it is there for you to grab. So with much preparation, you can get this, and your CRS point will increase. Just like I said, it is magic. All right, before I go to my next point, if you have any concern, if you have any question, feel free to drop it in the comment section down in this video. And also, I want you to share this video. I want you to like this video. If you have not subscribed, please do. Thank you very much. Now, my next tip would be education. Yes, adding more education to the one that you presently have will actually help you to increase your score magically in the express entry. I always advise, if you have a degree before, taking another 1 year diploma to join to your degree will actually give you more points. It's a very good way for you to get more points in the express entry pool. All right, and also, if you don't want to do that, you can do your master's. But I always advise, if you can do your master's is more of a long thing. If you get a 1 year master's, that is fine. But if you can do a diploma that is for 1 year, you can actually join that to your diploma that you already have, and that makes you have 2 certificates, one for a minimum of 3 years. With that, you can shoot up your score in the pool, and who knows, when you do the next draw, you might be chosen. And in addition to that, if you have the opportunity and you have the means, you can apply for your study permit in Canada. I already did a video on that. You might want to watch the video. With that, if you study in Canada, you get more points, and it can also help you to shoot up your score as far as express entry is concerned. So you want to consider that. It is very important. The fourth point that I'll be sharing with you on the 8 tips to magically increase your CRS point in the Canada express entry will be work experience. Internationally, if you're outside Canada, the only way you can get your point increased is to have minimum of 3 or more years work experience outside Canada. With 1 year experience, your score will drop. But if you can prove 3 or more years work experience outside Canada, you are good to go. So I want to advise you to continue working while you are striving towards coming into Canada. And don't forget, it is not about working alone. You need to make sure that the job you're doing can be likened to the NOC code A, O, or B. Anything outside that, you don't stand any chance. So I'll be linking in this video, like I did the last time, the NOC code that are accepted in Canada. And also, there are some provinces that might be looking out for the job that you are presently doing right now. So that's why I say, continue doing the job. Make sure it's in the NOC code 0, A, or B, and you stand a good chance. And before you know it, you might be invited for the next. The number 5 tip that I'll be sharing with you will be job offer. With a job offer, you can get a minimum of 50 points and a maximum of 200 points, depending on the position you are offered in Canada. I know getting a job offer from an employer in Canada can be very daunting, but it is worth trying because you don't have anything to lose, and especially because it can actually help increase your score. So I'll be linking in this video a website that you can submit your resume and they can actually help you get jobs in Canada. It is called ZipRecruiter. I'll be linking them down in this video below. They help you tailor your resume to Canada standard, and they can also help you apply for jobs that they feel you qualify for. And if you can land the job after interview, if you can land the job, bravo, that's a 50 point free for you, or 200 as the case may be. So you might want to tap into that because it is free, it is worth doing, it's not costing you anything just to apply. My next point, which is number 6 tip on how you can actually magically increase your CRS point in the Canada Express entry, is Provincial Nominee. This is one of my most salient points that I advise people to tap into. It is a free 600 if you can apply, and if you get it, you're good to go. Yes, in Canada, all provinces are allowed to recruit their own immigrants by designing their own provincial nominee program tailored to what they want. So when you are filling your express entry profile, I always advise people, make sure you tick all the provinces, because who knows, some of these provinces, they go into the poll, they see applicants that are in the poll, they see their job title, their qualification and everything, and if they feel they have what they want, they simply invite them to apply for their provincial nominee. And if you can apply and they give you the provincial nominee, that's additional 600 to your existing Canada Express entry score. So when you add it together on the next draw, you can't miss it. So I always advise, tap into the provincial nominee. You can look up Nova Scotia provincial nominee, Ontario provincial nominee, Manitoba provincial nominee. There are so many provincial nominees. Look into that. See if you qualify for that. Make sure you tick it when you fill your profile, and who knows, when they do the next draw, they might. All right, thank you very much for staying tuned. Like I said, the last 2 tips that I'll be giving are the icebreaker. Thank you very much for staying tuned. And like I always say, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. I beg you. Hit the likes button, share this video. If you have any concern, if you have any comment, feel free to drop it in the comment section. I promise to hit you back as soon as possible. Yes, the number 7 point, which is very salient, is tweaking your option. I always say, if you're married, it's not necessarily that it has to be the husband that will be the primary applicant. It might be the wife. So the best thing you want to do is that you need to tweak your option and see who gives us the highest point. So if your wife gives you the highest point, let her be the lead. If the husband gives you the highest point, let him be the lead. And in addition to that, there's nothing that stops both of you from creating your profile. So the husband can be the primary applicant on the one profile, while the wife will be an accompanying member. And on the other side, you create another profile for your wife, while the husband will be an accompanying member to the app. So when both of you are in the poll, you create your profile. It could be anybody. So they could actually pick the husband, they could actually pick the wife first. Whoever they pick first, that gives you the advantage. So you might want to, that's the secret I'm giving to you. Finally, the last point I'll be sharing with you on the 8 tips to magically increase your CRS point in the Canada Express entry will be the spouse factor. You want to agree with me that as far as CIC concerned, your spouse can only give you 20 for language abilities, 10 for result evaluation, and 10 for Canada work experience, which some of you might not have because you are applying from outside. I want to advise you, this is a new trick. If you feel that your spouse, education-wise, he or she is not performing very well in the IELT result, and also the result evaluation for your spouse is not up to standard with yours, and you feel that that might be affecting you, the best trick I want to tell you is, why not apply alone? How do you go about that? When you're filling your express entry profile, you tick that you're married, yes, but when they ask you, is your spouse accompanying you or you're coming alone, just say you're coming alone. With that, you are being assessed as a single candidate, despite the fact that you told them you're married. But all your points will come to you. So by so doing, they are not going to share your points with your spouse, because you're saying you are coming into Canada alone. And if you're so fortunate to receive ITA based on your increased score, you come into Canada, you land as a permanent resident, you can thereafter apply to sponsor your spouse. Don't forget, initially you told them you are married, right? And you can prove them with your marriage certificate. So then you can sponsor your wife, and within your one year, your wife can actually come and join you in Canada. All right, in summary, I've been able to give you the 8 salient points for you to magically increase your CRS point in the Canada Express entry. I told you that if you have a sibling in Canada, that improves your point. Through provincial nominee, you can improve your point. By tweaking your option, you can improve your point. Through job offer in Canada, work experience in Canada, you can improve your point. And also taking the IELT or your language test again, and even the French, as the case may be. Based on everything I've said, if you have any question, if you have any concern, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And don't forget, like I say, always share this video, like this video. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. All right, let's go to the next segment. Think about it. Today, I'll be sharing with you a quote from Martin Luther Jr. Now, it says, you don't have to see the old staircase. Just take the first step. Martin Luther King Jr. Yes, what does that mean? Sometimes when you want to take a decision, you are always scared because you have not seen the bigger scope. But if you feel you're convinced after doing your research that that step you want to take is what you are aiming for, take the first step. Because once you take the first step, there's no looking back. You have to keep going. But the majority of the problem people have is taking that bold first step. Like I said, in this express entry, take the first step. And when you look back, you will be glad you took the step. All right. Like I always tell you, I am your one and only Emcee Bernardinho. Please subscribe to this channel. Share this video. Until I come back to you, I'll be coming with you with another topic based on your feedback. Stay tuned. Have a nice one. Peace out.